Hello adventurers, it is I, Solus Venture, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So for today, it is a Tuesday, and Tuesdays in October I like to focus on some of my sci-fi or weird fantasy adventures. And today I thought that we will continue my adventures in Traveler First Edition with our space traveler here. This is Jayda. So we are going to be playing the first edition of Traveler and use Space Truckers, which is a nice supplement made by the amazing Arcane Sword Press. So we're going to use some of their tables here to kind of help navigate some random encounters, any like complications along the journey. So yeah, so we'll be using this. This is the Traveler First Edition core rulebook. And we will also use Mythic as our Game Master emulator. So, where we have left off. So, where we've left off is Jayda just got hired by the financier who is working for the Odine government. So, this financier is in town of Nyx to locate Jayda. And Jayda was kind of chilling in her apartment in her lab working on a few little inventions here and there. And he says that if you like, I will pay you really well, but not just that, you will also kind of get a little bit of some petty revenge against the salvage crew that you used to work with. They saw her as weak and they booted her off of the team. So, Jada's kind of like thinking about it. She was thinking, okay, like this will be a good job, and maybe it would also be kind of a way to network with this financier and see if maybe she can work in the Odine government or help out with some of the inventions in like the starport or the space station there in Odine, etc. So she's just thinking like maybe this would be really good for her career as well. And it's also hard to kind of get a life started and settled in Odine. So she's thinking this could be her shot if she wants to get out of the small town of Nyx. So basically, the mission is she has to work with other crew members that the financier kind of put together to find money that was stolen from the salvage crew that Jayda used to work for. So basically, this crew, they hid money somewhere on an asteroid in an asteroid belt that is within the star system, and their whole goal is to go there, find it, and bring it back to the Odine government. So the four other crew members that she will be working with, there is Sage, who is an asteroid miner, and then we have Star, who is kind of the leader and pilot of the shuttle that they are going to be in. And then we have Lewis, who is the messenger and kind of the logbook keeper. So he is going to be in contact with the financier and just kind of keep track of how the progress is going on this mission. And we also have Rufus, who is good with combat. So he's kind of the one that knows, how to navigate some like aliens or something, or maybe like space pirates or whatever. So this particular crew, they are disguising themselves as space truckers. So this is a top secret mission because it does involve like a lot of money, and so they don't want other people to kind of know about this. So they're disguising themselves as space truckers. So hopefully, if there are other hostile space travelers in the asteroid belt or something, they will probably ignore them because space truckers are usually kind of the ones that are like hauling back and forth different items and stuff. So yeah, so space truckers aren't really super quote unquote important. So that's really it. Okay, so we are going to begin. So they have settled in their spaceship, in their shuttle, and they are all now ready to go. They're ready to go and head to the asteroid belt. So this is kind of what I'm picturing. So I've never really drawn like a space shuttle kind of a thing. So I'm kind of picturing it as super simple, like this. Let's see, and then we'll have like the wings here. There we go. And then here are kind of the rockets or something. Okay, so in this particular area, this is kind of where Star is. So this is kind of the pilot like hangar, and that's kind of where the team like meets together, and that is kind of where they just like plan everything out basically. And then here in this particular room, I'm kind of thinking as this part as maybe where there's a bunch of different equipment. So just random things that they might need. Like maybe there's like toolkits, maybe other computers, etc. And then we have over here, I'm kind of thinking of living quarters. So here's a room, here's another room. Yeah, so maybe the crew members, they share rooms here. And then we will probably have here maybe like a kitchen of some sort. And then I was thinking over here, this could be kind of their, I guess, another spot for equipment. And then maybe like random computers and stuff, or maybe even like drones too, that they can fly if they are needing to kind of get a drone out further into space and kind of analyze if the area is safe for the shuttle to like land on, etc. And then here I was just thinking this could be like a hallway, and then over here this could be where they can enter and exit or something. And then maybe there can be another enter exit area as well. Yeah, maybe there could be like 2 or something. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so something like that. Actually, now I think about it, maybe this room can be smaller. So here's another room, and yeah, there we go. That would make more sense. And yeah, it's fine if this particular door enters into like the kitchen or something. Maybe that can be like an emergency like exit. Okay, so here is a really rough sketch of their shuttle. And so now we will get started and see how the journey goes. So this particular asteroid belt, so it is within their system, but I don't know exactly like how far it is from Velara, and so I don't really like to think about math. So I think what I'm gonna do is, in terms of distance from the planet Velara to the asteroid belt, I think I will just roll a d6 and see if it's close, near, far. And so I think actually I'm going to write on my little cheat sheet here that we can do distance here can be 1 to a 2, 3 to a 4, 5 to a 6. So it could be close, and this would be near, and then far. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so it is far. So I'm going to interpret far as I'm probably going to say it's like maybe like 5 hours away. So yeah, so I'm going to say for our adventurers here, I guess I'll write it here. So we'll just say this is the logbook mission update. Okay, So we will split this into 5, so 5 hours. So I'll split this into 5, I guess, events or something to the asteroid belt. And then it'll take 5 hours back, going back home. So we can say something like this here. Okay. So this is hour 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this will be going back home, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so the tricky thing about this particular asteroid belt is it is very, very hard to navigate. So that's something to keep in mind. And we also don't know the area super well, and I guess the stash of money, it could be hidden in any of the asteroid belt rocks, right? And so I think what they're gonna do, so the whole crew, I guess this will represent the whole crew right now. So the whole crew is in their shuttle, and they are now heading along their way to the asteroid belt. So I think for this, I think during this time, I believe Jayda would probably want to ask Star here, the pilot and leader of the crew, if she has like any idea of where this particular money would be found. Like, it's definitely likely it will be found on one of the bigger, perhaps, like asteroids compared to like the smaller ones, because of how large amount of like money is being like hidden. So I guess Jada's thinking like, you know, she used to work with this crew, and she's thinking like there's no way that they would just be hiding it on a small one. And so she's asking Star if she has at least an idea of any of like the big asteroids of this particular asteroid belt. So I'm gonna roll to see how many. I'm gonna roll a 2d6 here. So how many big asteroids are in this particular asteroid belt? Okay, so we have 8. So that would mean that there are 8 particular ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so there are 8. So Jada is going to Star, and she's asking her if she has any idea. Star is saying to Jada, well, there are 8 big asteroids, and I feel like that is how we can at least narrow down our focus and like which area we should like focus on. And so she's saying that we should probably explore the asteroid belt first and kind of locate where the big ones like are, and explore each one basically. So there are 8 big ones that Star can see on the map, and she's saying that we should just kind of narrow down each one. Okay, so I'm going to write in my logbook here that there are 8 asteroids that they will look at, and they're going to explore each one and kind of see. So for our travelers here, they are still, I would say, an hour away. So on the fifth hour, that is when they will arrive. So this is when they will arrive to the belt. And then here, this is where they will head back home. Okay. So there are 8 asteroids, and Star is kind of looking at the map and trying to see. Okay, so now I think I do want to see if there is any random event happening in this particular scene of the first hour of them traveling. So I think I'm gonna use this and I'll roll and see how likely. So it is 50-50. So I'll ask the fate chart here, how likely is it that they are going to be bumping into any trouble? So yes, there's trouble, or no, it's safe. So let's see. Oh, we got an 11. So that means it is unsafe and a random event happens. Okay. So we shall see the random event here. So we got a 44. So that means an NPC negative. Okay. So NPC negative and unsafe. So first, let's see which NPC is affected here. So there are 4 of them, and I guess we can just roll a 1d4, whoops, to see who is affected. Okay, so number 1, so it looks like Sage, the asteroid miner, is affected somehow. So let's see. So I'm gonna put here Sage. So they are being affected right now. So let's see what is going on. Okay, so let's see. We'll do maybe character. We'll roll on the characters table and on the characters action table. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we got 60 masculine. Okay, and then 06 anxious. Okay, so we got anxious and then masculine. Interesting. Okay. What else? So we got a 94. Trust. Oh, you know what? I think Sage, I'm taking that. So I'm taking the words masculine, trust, and oh shoot, I already forgot. Trust and anxious. Yeah. So I'm taking the words masculine, anxious, and trust as he Rufus. I'm thinking Rufus and Sage, they have some sort of beef going on. So since Rufus has some like anger issues, I'm kind of thinking that Rufus is kind of getting annoyed with Sage maybe, and Sage is kind of anxious about the dynamics of the group. So he's having, or sorry, they're both they them. So they're having a hard time with trusting Rufus here, and maybe Rufus. I'm just going to put Sage versus Rufus, and Rufus is having a hard time with getting along with Sage. And knowing Jayda, I feel like Jayda would want to try to interfere here and try to see if she could help Sage out. So let's see. I wonder, what is it exactly? Like, why is there some sort of beef going on between the 2 of them, you know? So let's see. Maybe character conversations. So we got a 43. So a 43 is grateful. So I'm assuming Sage is grateful for Jayda's friendship. And 51 ideas. Oh man, okay. I can kind of see Sage being a little I could see Sage kind of asking Jayda that, you know, like maybe there's a way that we can get rid of like Rufus in case if Rufus does end up getting getting aggressive with us. Maybe Sage has an idea that Rufus actually wants to steal the money. Once they find the money, maybe Rufus would want to like take off and take the money with them. So that's kind of what Sage is worried about, that Rufus is driven by the big amount of money that they're going to be finding in this asteroid belt. So I can see Jayda kind of saying like, you know, like let's not jump into conclusions here. I know you have your doubts, but let's just hold off on any assumptions and let's just wait. So I think Jayda would probably want to talk to Sage and say to calm down a little bit and not think about that too much. So that is kind of the NPC negative. And unsafe, so meaning there is some sort of encounter. So I think for this, I do want to roll on the encounter, maybe complications. So yeah, so let's try that. So we will roll a 2d6 here. So let's see. So we got 9. Okay, so once you leave orbit near the destination, your ship will be boarded to have the manifest inspected and possibly check the cargo and crew for any illegal activity that might violate their local laws. Prepare to be boarded. Okay, so I wouldn't say that there is that they're going to be boarded, but I am going to interpret routine scan as there is a routine like scout ship, and they see the space trucker ship, and they want to you know, do a search through this particular shuttle here. So let's see. I'm going to roll a d6 to kind of see what this routine scan is all about here. So we got a 2. Okay, so in-depth search. So local security, 2D police and 1 officer, searches the cargo and staterooms for contraband. Okay, so I know Star, so Star is probably saying, alert crew, we have some company here. So this will represent our police, I guess, routine scanners. Okay, so this particular police routine scan is asking the shuttle, so they are on the radio asking Star to allow them to board their ship, and they will do a thorough routine scan and making sure no contrabands are found on the ship. Okay, so knowing Star would want to definitely conceal the identity and their mission, right? So it is a top secret mission from this financier, and so she is saying, okay guys, everyone be on your best behavior, and we need to make sure that we can hide everything, basically anything that you think is contraband. So knowing that Rufus does have an old criminal record, but even though they are like safe now, I think Star would tell Rufus that Rufus needs to hide, and there is a particular hidden like cockpit over here in this area that is pretty well hidden, and so yeah, and so I think Star is saying, Rufus, you need to hide, or else they might want to capture you and take you back to jail. And Rufus is probably annoyed as shit and saying like, I'm so tired of this. Why is everyone like against me? Yada yada. And Sage is probably gonna stay quiet and Jayda's gonna do her best to make sure that everything on the ship is like neat and tidy, and trying to make sure that she hides anything that's like contraband. The only contraband things would be weapons, because in the planet of Velara, they're not allowed to have personal concealable weapons. And so I think Jayda would probably tell Rufus that they need to hide like all of their weapons with Rufus. And so Star's saying, okay, guys, let's go. We need to make this quick. So Jada's going around and making sure that everything is hidden. And Rufus is hidden in the little cockpit thing there. So I think I'm gonna do a dex check to kind of see like if how well Jayda and the rest of the crew were able to hide everything. And I think I'm gonna give her a +1 because of Rufus is helping, trying to make sure that all the weapons and such are well hidden. Okay, so let's see what we get. Okay, so we got a 6, 7, 8 plus a 1 from Rufus is a 9, so success. Okay, so that means that was a success. So their ship is completely safe and everything is well hidden. So the police, they enter in through here. So the police are here and they're scanning all the rooms and making sure. I'll just say that there's like 3 police men over there, and Star is introducing herself and just trying to explain that they are just simple space truckers. She's just trying to make sure that everything that they're hauling and traveling with is like safe and well kept. And do the police notice anything like odd? I feel like no, because of how everything is well hidden, and Rufus luckily is hidden as well. So I'm gonna ask the fate chart. I feel like very likely that everything is good to go. So let's see. Okay, so we got a 94. Oh, okay. So they see something. So the police officers, they do see something that is contraband. And they found something in, let's see, which room? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see which area. So 3. So they locate some sort of contraband in one of the rooms. And let's see what they find. So it looks like they don't find Rufus or the weapons. So let's see instead what they find. Okay. So let's see here. Maybe in objects. Yeah, so maybe objects. Okay, so we got a 91. Unexpected. Okay, unexpected and 24 desired. Unexpected but desired. Oh, maybe they found illegal drugs or something. Okay, so the police found illegal drugs. Maybe anagathics. Maybe they found anagathics. Okay, so I'm thinking the police found anagathics drugs in Rufus's room, perhaps. And I'm kind of picturing, so anagathics are like slow aging drugs, but this particular one that they found, it's a very like low dose. And so it's not that like super strong kind of drug. And so Star will probably try to like defend her crew, and will instead say, you know what, how about you guys can keep it and we'll pay you guys to just keep your mouth shut or something, and not report us. And so the police are looking at Sage, at Jayda, at Star, Lewis. You know, they're looking at everyone. And the police officer probably will ask for money. So let's see. We'll do a 2d6 times 10. So, or maybe yeah, why not? So that's what, like 70 cash, saying like, okay, look, we'll keep our mouth shut. We'll keep this because this is nice. We'll keep the drugs, but if you pay, we won't report you, because Star can kind of see one of the police officers typing in his little like hand computer. And I think Jayda will step in and say like, look, I'll give you money, and then we'll just continue off and continue our job here. So she will give them money here. Okay, so she gives them 70 bucks basically to the police officer. All right, and the police officer is happy with that. Okay, so now the police officers are happy with that. They take the drugs, and they now leave the ship, and they're saying, okay, everything else is in good shape. You guys are free to go. So now the police have left, and that was a good routine scan. Rufus comes out of the cockpit saying like, oh my god, that took forever. What was taking you guys so long? And Star is saying like, well, they found your fucking drugs, dude. Like, why do you have this stuff? And he's probably saying like, leave me alone. Like, let's just like forget about it and stay focused on the job here. And Star is saying like, yep, you're right. Let's stay focused and continue onward. So now it is the second hour of the mission, and let's see if things are safe. Oh, whoops. That'll be a D100 here. So we'll say 50-50. Okay, so 35. Okay, great. So smooth sailing. So it is safe, and there are no encounters. Perfect. Okay, so now we are going into the third hour here. So let's see, is the third hour safe? So this will be a 50-50 as well, with the chaos factor probably let's see, probably down at this point. Yeah, so we'll say the chaos factor of 4. So let's see. Okay, 37. So that means no. So no, it is not safe. So unsafe. And let's see what happens. Let's see here. I wonder if it is a complication thing, or is it radio chatter? I wonder, is it radio chatter? Let me ask the fate chart here. Is it radio chatter? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So it looks like Star hears something on the radio. And let's see what it is. So 7. A buddy of mine told me that there's someone looking to haul under the table where you're heading. Role, patron, and mission. Uh-oh. Okay, so unsafe. So Star hears on radio. So she's picking up a weird signal here. So Star hears on the radio that they're being watched, and it sounds like there's someone that is kind of looking for that money as well. Well, I'll see what that will be next time. So I think that's where I'm actually gonna leave off the adventure. And so next time we will see who this someone is. So I think Star will probably ask Lewis if he can get a better signal and try to see where this radio signal is coming from and figure out who is that someone that's like, who is this stranger that's onto them. So yeah, so we will see that for next time. But anyways, that is another day in Jayda's adventure in Traveler. So I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of Traveler. I'm really excited to dive into Jayda's story more and kind of see how it goes and if they're able to successfully find and retrieve that stolen money. Well, that is it for today, adventurers. Thank you so much as always. Until next time.